Well, it's lunchtime, do buckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm going to be Tom the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. I hope everybody's doing all right out there. Late on a Monday. But I did do my usual video on Saturday. I did go out for a little bit to see a show at Nathan, the legendary Nathan P. Murphy's. That was a lot of fun. The Jack Sheely Band. Man, if you've never heard of those guys, look them up. I guess their music is on Apple Music, I think he said. There's nothing available on Spotify because that's where I looked, but he said Apple Music. But man, they are good. Anyways, just wanted to check something real fast, but that's working. All right. Anyways, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Whiskey Whisperer. I'm going to start with some beer here. Got one from Banter Brewing. It's their Iron Gospel. They're hazy-ish IPA. Although this one didn't come out looking so hazy, but it has all the flavors and aromas you expect from this style at 6.7% in my Banter glass. Let me show you how beautiful that pours. Oh, look at that. That's just gorgeous, man. I don't care who you are. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. Oh, mercy, Percy. Trying to see something here, and I can't tell if that's working or not. Here we go. Anyways, oh, that's gorgeous. Nice, big tropical fruit, a little bit of citrus in there. A little stone fruit in the middle for me. Oh, damn, that beer's good. This is good, man. The rest of that in there gets me right to the top. I get that prop out there. You can see the can. There we go. Let me adjust a little bit here. There we go. That's better. Let you see that can. Iron Gospel. There we go. Oh, anyways, I digress. I worked Friday and Saturday this week, so I haven't been doing much video. I've been doing much drinking. I did have a couple Saturday when I went to this show. The owners of the club, Nathan P. Murphy's, Bob and Wanda, I've known for a lot of years. They've been very good to me, so I wanted to go out there. I hadn't been out there for a while. I just been missing the shows, but I did want to check this one out. It was very interesting. Young guy, with some other irons in the fire, but great musician. I described his solo stuff, his original stuff as somewhere it was as basically classic rock with a little bit of Delta blues infused. Done extremely well. It's nice. I haven't been out to a good showcase club in a while. It was a lot of fun. It was great talking with Bob and Wanda. Used to bring my kids out there. Yeah, they saw a lot of shows out there. Both my daughter and son saw a lot of shows out there. They always treated the kids very well. Took my son out there when he was about 5, about 5 years old. I took him to see Maynard Ferguson. Great trumpet player, great jazz musician. But my son Seamus sat there, stared at the stage for an hour and a half for instrumental jazz. At that point, I knew I had something, right? I don't know many kids that would stay entertained with instrumental jazz for an hour and a half, but I'll be damned if he wasn't. It was amazing. In fact, the Bob and Wanda were rather amazing. All the people there were kind of, wow, look at this kid. He just, and of course they always spoiled him. They just bring him a drink every so often. And as he got older, we started going to more shows. I'd won tickets for the very first Rocklahoma show. I can't remember if that was '07, something like that. Anyway, won tickets for one day, so we went out there, and that was a lot of fun. But he liked us so much that the second year of the show, in fact, it's the only year they did this, but they made it a 5-day festival. So we bought tickets for the 5-day festival, him and I. So that was interesting. He didn't see all the bands, but he saw a lot of them. Some of the ones that were later on, you get tired and we go back to the room. But well, it was a lot of fun when we saw. He was a big fan of Living Color at the time, so that's one he wanted to see. Trying to think of some of the bands we saw. He really liked again Living Color. Night Ranger was great. The only one he wasn't really thrilled with, to be honest with you, was Dokken. He didn't really like Dokken at all. And he liked some of the music, but live was not impressed. LA Guns were very good. Had Marty Casey fronting the band at the time, but I guess he just fronted them for that 1 year and then went off. But I don't know, it's too bad it didn't work because, I mean, it seemed to be a great fit. Marty Casey was a great front man. Zebra was really good that year with the 5-day festival. One of the bands we really wanted to see, both of us, was Cinderella. They canceled out, so that was kind of a bummer. One of the last concert we saw together was I'd won tickets for a radio station to see Ted Nugent, Styx, and REO Speedwagon. They played in that order. Styx, Nuge was first, and then Styx, then REO Speedwagon. As much as I like REO Speedwagon, because I'd seen them before, and as much as I do like them, they were kind of dwarfed by Styx, the energy, the charisma that Styx had. The Styx stage show was so amazing that it just kind of went down a notch when REO Speedwagon played. They didn't seem to have that same energy. Oh, mercy. The IPA, it's changed a lot over the years, hasn't it? I mean, if you had an IPA in the early 90s when those first brew pubs were starting to pop up, well, it didn't look like this, right? They were more of a copper color back then. You know, they were more of our version of a traditional English IPA. Well, they've changed a lot over the years. That's a very light color. I mean, that's almost the color of an American adjunct lager right there. They changed in flavor, and of course, then the West Coast IPA started happening, and then the hazy craze. I'm not as enamored by the hazies as some are, but every once in a while I'll drink one like this. That's just so much above most of them. You just have to admire how brilliantly this beer is done. Although I will tell you, the very, very first time I had Heady Topper, that was wow, man. I drank it out of the can just like they suggested. But boy, when I first popped that and got that first nose, oh my god, that is freaking brilliant, man. And of course, there's been so many since then. I've had the Treehouse Julius, and I didn't dislike it, but I don't see the magic behind it either. I don't know why it's just incredibly sought after beer. I just didn't get that from it for me. For me, I mean, there was nothing different than other flavors and aromas I've gotten from dozens and dozens of the style. I just feel like at this point it's been done to death. And maybe that's why some say craft beer is on the decline. Sales are down, I guess, in some ways, but it could be an oversaturation of the market, and it could be collective bad marketing, right? There was a reason why a lot of us gravitated towards craft beer at a certain time, and I think there's a reason why folks aren't doing it now. Then, of course, you have got a lot of folks right now not wanting the carbs, so they're looking for other alternatives. And that's kind of a problem too. And not necessarily looking for alternatives, is that these alternatives, the flavors of these alternatives, I guess, or there are folks like me, the purists out there that like the way alcohol tastes. Right? I want a beer that tastes like a beer. That's why many fruity beers don't do anything for me, because I want that taste. I want to feel it. And the same with whiskey. But those are going for the seltzers and various other alternatives. That's why they're drinking them, because they don't taste like alcohol. And then maybe that's why craft beer sales are down, because there just isn't that excitement. When craft beer started coming up, there was a lot of excitement because it was beer again, right? It was finally Americans making good beer instead of that crap we'd been known for so long. But that excitement isn't there, and the folks that were excited are old, like myself. And I don't know, the industry isn't exciting many younger folks to delve into craft beer. They're going towards other things if they're drinking at all, because there's other things available, right? Marijuana is now legal in most states, or at least a good portion of them. So a lot of folks I know aren't drinking or smoking or anything. They're eating gummies and all sorts of various edibles. There's other things available now, man. For me, I like alcohol because it's not just, it's not even about the buzz or any effect. It's the experience, right? It's the pour, whether I'm having a beer or a cocktail. It's not even that. Or it's even more than that. It's just picking out the beer, picking out the cocktail, picking out for a cocktail, picking out the right, deciding what cocktail, then picking out the right spirit for that cocktail, then putting that cocktail together, and then for beer, it's figuring out what you're in the mood for, finding that right beer for that right occasion, and then the pour, the nose. I mean, it's the whole experience. That's why the other things don't do a lot for me, because it's just about getting somewhere really fast. Whereas for me, craft beer and a good cocktail is about enjoying, it's looking out the window. It's not about getting there fast. It's looking out the window, enjoying the sights along the way. Ugh. But this really is a nicely done beer, and it is relatively light bodied, but it is as per style. It is hard to believe that it's 6.7 though, because it drinks so easily. It is very approachable. It gives you all those flavors you want from a good hazy IPA. You get a lot of big tropical fruit notes up front, married with some mixed citrus, some stone fruit in the middle. Uh, anyways, I'm gonna have to burp here in a second. I'm gonna have to burp here. I'm gonna apologize in advance. My apologies for the frivolity. I'm gonna pour myself a little bit of whiskey here while we're having a conversation. I'm gonna pour the Boot Hill straight wheat whiskey. Gonna be it's only gonna be about an ounce and a half. We're keeping it light tonight. Boot Hill out of Dodge City, Kansas. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. But I picked this up in Tulsa January 2nd, as a matter of fact. I've had it for a little bit, so I thought I'd go ahead and work on finishing it up. It is 100 proof, straight wheat whiskey. Let me set that up on my prop here, get that out there where you can see it. There we go. I had another beer to pour, but that would have filled me up so much. I thought I'd better take a breather. Anyway, I digress. Oh, a lot going on these days. I'm not going to get into it because that's not what these videos are for. But oh, mercy. Who knows what we're in for? Oh, excuse me. I've got a vacation coming. Just about a month and a half or so before the election. So I'm going to enjoy my vacation because it may be my last, man. Might be my very last. Going somewhere we've never gone before. Right around Columbus, Ohio. We had originally picked a hotel right in the heart of Columbus, Ohio, in the short north area. It was an Airbnb, but I got a message that they were closing the property down, so we got other arrangements. They upgraded our room and stuff, but we're a little further out than we originally were. But so originally I thought, well, that's kind of a bummer. But then when I started researching the area where the hotel is that we're now staying at, I found other things that I hadn't considered before. So I'm trying to look at that positive. There were several breweries and other things that I hadn't considered because it was a little bit away. I just want to hit those right in that area. But now we've got those others to consider. So there's too many to hit them all. There just is. I'm not even going to try because I'd rather than just try to have, one beer and go, mark off as many as you can. I'm not a ticker drinker. I've never been a ticker. I never wanted to just tick off as many as possible. I'd rather go someplace and enjoy it. So I'd rather sit and enjoy, a half dozen than go to a dozen where I'm just in and out, in and out, in and out. So I don't know how many I'll end up hitting, but with the ones I go to, I'm going to relax and enjoy being there rather than trying to have one beer or have one flight. I'm not a flight guy, to be honest with you. There are times to have a flight, I suppose, and I won't say I've never ordered them, but I don't typically because I usually just want to have one beer and enjoy it. Well, I might have two or three, but anyway, when I enjoy that beer, sometimes it's really hard to tell those 4 to 5 ounce samplers. You don't really get an accurate picture. And drinking those 4 to 5 ounce samplers, your palate is being affected. So I don't know that. Yeah, again, I don't know that you're feeling each beer correctly. And so I've never been a fan of flights. I usually just look at the menu, figure out what beer I'm in the mood for at that particular moment in time. Do I want an IPA? Do I want a stout? How am I feeling? What's the weather like? So yeah, I like to play it by ear, and a lot of times it just depends on what they have available, right? I'm not a trendy beer drinker, not a huge sour guy, although I don't dislike them altogether. I've been known to order them upon occasion, but they're not my absolute favorite. Nor am I a big milkshake of any kind guy. The milkshake, this, that, or the others. Now, I'm not a trendy. I like classic style, so that's typically what I gravitate towards. Show me you can make a perfect Pilsner, then I'll consider other things, right? Show me you can make a perfect Hefeweizen or a Schwarzbier or an English mild. I mean, you know, make a classic style perfect. Then I'll look at the crazy stuff. There are a few distilleries in the area too that I'd like to hit. So, and we found a couple wineries that we might, because our last couple anniversaries we focused on wineries, so we kind of gotten away from that this year. Originally, that was going to be the focus. I was going to find some place with a lot of wineries we could hit, but my wife wanted to go a different direction. So I was okay. So I'm not really. I'm kind of moving away from. I think we kind of did that. I guess maybe uh, for a while there, she was enjoying. She doesn't really drink, but she was enjoying trying the different wines, and just kind of gotten away from that. So we'll find the ones we can. I always like to find a local deli and or butcher shop whenever we go somewhere. And the new area we're staying at does have one, so I'm looking forward to trying them. They've got a deli, butcher shop, bakery, and a restaurant there. So I definitely want to try that place at least once. We'll probably want to eat the restaurant once, but I do want to get into that other stuff, the deli, bakery, and uh, butcher shop, just see what products they have. I can always look at a case to tell how fresh, look how see how fresh the products are. I just want to see that case once because I can tell if you put some care into that case. Some places are better about putting a case together than others. And as somebody who was a deli manager for a very long time, I look at that stuff and say, okay, you got. Well, I'm not sure why this is here. Somebody didn't spend it again when you got all meat scattered everywhere. Now somebody's not taking care of their case, man. You got to put some love into that deli case, man. And then the types of products used. I always look for stuff when we go out of town. In this case, out of state, for products that I can't find here. So I'm looking forward to looking even just really. I like to go just to local grocery stores. I try to find the smaller ones if possible, but sometimes you've got to go to the chains. But I don't when I if there's options, I won't. But oh, there it is. There it is. It's stuck right there, man. Anyway, anyway. Man, that is a nice whiskey though. Again, 100 proof. It doesn't really feel like it. It's very approachable. I love the feel of it though, right? The viscosity, the mouth feel. It just feels so velvety smooth. A lot of vanilla. You might find some fruit notes in there as well. It's not going to be unusual, and it really depends. What you get really depends on you. As I've said ad nauseum, at this point, you're not going to taste what you don't know, so you're just going to feel it how you feel at that particular moment in time. So I never tell anybody you're wrong. The way you taste it is the way you taste it. I'm not as big a fan of wheated bourbons as most seem to be these days, but I do like this wheat whiskey. I don't dislike wheat bourbons. Don't get me wrong, wheated bourbons, but I do prefer traditional bourbon. I think there's a reason why traditional bourbons used rye as a secondary grape because you need that rye bite, that rye spiciness to balance the sweetness of the corn. When you add just wheat to that, you're not balancing that sweetness at all. You're adding to it. Now, what wheat does is soften the body, and I think that's what a lot of folks like, that softer whiskey. Not that I dislike Pappy's, and not that I'd ever turn down a shot. But for me, again, it's like the hazy IPA. It's not the be all end all of bourbon. I think it's good. But it's a little on the sweet side. I'm not certainly not ever going to turn down a pour, but do I think it's the greatest stuff that ever lived? No, I really don't. I just like that traditional bourbon. In fact, to be honest with you, I love a high rye bourbon. I mean, 30% or better. I really enjoy because you again for me, you need that rye bite, that rye spiciness to balance the sweetness of the corn. You give me a bourbon with 40% rye, I'm all in, baby. I'm all in. I understand that completely. I feel you deeply, baby. Anyway, anyways, I digress. But I digress. Yeah, I really do enjoy this one. Not necessarily trying to polish it off, but I've gotten to the point in the bottle where I need to finish it. So I have a pour here and there, but didn't want a big pour this evening. Just wanted enough to really just get a nice taste. I would like to visit that distillery though, or find more products from them because this stuff is just outstanding. It's the only thing they had at that liquor store at the time. But I picked this up in Tulsa. So that's why I'm looking forward to going where we're going because I've never been to that part of the country before. The place we're going to, I've never been before. So looking forward to hitting some places, finding some beer and spirits that I can't get in my neck of the woods. I won't buy everything from any one particular place. I just want to. I'll pick up a 6 pack here from this place, 6 pack from that place. Buy a bottle here, buy a bottle there, kind of, just a little bit at a time as we go through our vacation. This is the longest vacation my wife and I have ever taken by ourselves for the last few years. We really haven't been able to go very far, so we've stayed pretty close to home, and we've only been gone 2, 3 days tops. So this will be a little bit different trip for us. So I think we're both looking forward to just kind of getting away and relaxing and not having to do really anything. I don't really do an itinerary, although I've just marked a few places that her and I would want to go, but places she would want to go by herself. Many places I want to go by myself. Maybe some things we want to do, but I don't put an itinerary together. I don't want to. I don't have to be. I don't want to have to be on a schedule on vacation. When you're on vacation, you want to relax. You don't want to have to be at a certain place at a certain time. I'm just. That's why there's some places I've marked down. I've listed a lot of breweries, distilleries. I know it's not going to be possible to hit them all, and things just happen how they happen. So I'll get to the ones I can, and that's just how it's going to be. So, anyways, I digress. I've been going on for about 30 minutes here, so we're gonna wrap this up, man. I don't know whether I'll be back today or not, so we're just gonna play it by ear again. I am Tom, the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm also Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer. Let me show you this bottle. Get a little closer to it as I pull it off to the side there. Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and oh, mercy all around, good guys. Salacia. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for tuning in.